Hi, this is Naomi with Sword and Steel, and today I want to share you this Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy, or DERPA for short, carrying case that will fit Tooth & Coat's paints, among a whole bunch of other brands of paints, with miniatures and brushes, all in this one handy case that you can carry around. And there's been some definite improvements from the last Mechi case that I reviewed. They've taken our feedback and run with it. And also, I'd like to show you kind of how you put it all together in case that would be helpful to you as well. So the biggest feature of this carrying case, in my opinion, is its changeability. The regular version of the case, which is priced at $114 USD and comes with 6 paint trays, each holding up to 12 paints or up to 10 paints when it comes to Citadel-sized paint bottles. So that allows you to hold up to 72 paints with up to 12 brushes. And you can choose the tray sizes you want for what paint during checkout, but I do not think you would want to use this just to hold paints. What I think you want to do, however, is hold your miniatures very securely with the paintbrushes and paints all in a very organized fashion. Okay, so the regular version just holds paints trays and paintbrushes, but you can order the individual miniature trays separately, bringing the customization of this case to the extreme. Or you could just get the ultimate version, which is the one that they gave me to check out, and that comes with a pre-packaged bonus of all sorts of different trays so that you can really customize what you want for each project at the time. And its cost at the moment is $165 USD. All right, so what do I think of this carrying case? Well, the previous cases allowed you to customize them on checkout to be exactly the way you wanted for a particular army. And like Tabletop Tech likes to say, you don't need to do anything to your models to prepare them for this case. No magnets or metal bottoms or anything. Instead, you do the opposite and prepare the case for the models. But this one has gone way beyond that, because if you have a bunch of these trays, then no matter which troop choice or any other bunch of models that are 4 inches or less in height, whether they have bases or not, you can add them with whatever paints and brushes you need in the case, and they're all held securely and tidily. I very much like the tidy part. And each one has a little note on the side of what size base fits into it, in case you weren't sure at a glance. I've even just used these trays outside of the case to carry around my paint and my minis from one room to the other, because why not? The trays are so simple to use. You place your minis in the rubber enclosed spaces, you press down on the lever, the rubber tightens gently around each model, you check that each one is secure in place just in case, and then you go off. And then when you want your miniatures to come out again, you just raise the lever and remove them. Easy as pie. For those miniatures that don't have a base or are larger than what the trays can support, there is a honeycomb mesh plate that you screw the singletons into place on, and the screws that come with the kit are using number 2 Phillips screws, in case you wondered. And you can either use your fingers or this hidden tool to secure the model in place as gently as can be, depending on which singleton you have. For things without a base, or maybe with so much stuff on the base you can't secure it as you would other bases, they have created these cool little rubber holders where on one side you place these black rubber stops, and on the other side you can place spring action holders, also with rubber tips. I would say to be careful releasing these to hold your miniature, as the springs do as springs do and will jump into place if you aren't careful. So just place your finger on the holder as you release it so it eases against your miniature rather than springs dramatically into place, at least for the more fragile miniatures anyway. Oh, and you will have to remove the rubber tips on these to screw them into place, but you can just place the rubber tips back on after you have the screw successfully screwed in. There is a top to the mesh and a bottom to the mesh. For future reference, the top of the mesh are the smaller honeycombs,
and the bottom of the mesh is the larger honeycombs. It is much harder to attach when it's upside down. You can do it. I learned that. But it's harder, so don't do that. Now, yes, some of it is absolutely 3D printed ABS plastic. That was their starting point. And the majority of this is their designs on a 3D printer. But this is an anodized aluminum frame. It's also been rounded, so there's no sharp edges that will just come off. So they have really improved the design on this. I'm actually super thrilled with it. There used to be just a clicking into place mechanism entirely created by 3D printing. They have now changed the design on this, so it actually is just a dial system. I tried to fit a Army Painter wet palette in there. It's too big. You can't do it. Unless you tried to put it on on the miniature side, which I wouldn't suggest, but you can fit something that would be about this size, which is like a centimeter thick for sure, and you can fit it on the, do it while it's mostly closed. You can absolutely fit it on the paint side. A little paint palette, a little dry paint palette. You could fit it on the paint side. And it is not going to go anywhere. The paintbrush stand and the paints themselves hold it in place. So that's a cute little thing. Want to see how that works? You just take it out before it falls in. There we see, still in place. So that's pretty handy. You can put a little paint palette in there. I guess all you need then is your cup. And I'm pretty certain that you can find a cup somewhere for your water. Oh, and some paper towel. You could put some paper towel in here too on that side. Yeah, you can manage. I think it's really tidy and really handy. Yeah, let me know what you think. I think it's really sturdy. I think you could go on some work trips with it and be satisfied. You could certainly fit it in your little carry-on, and I'm happy that it is now in construction. And you can go ahead and check that out on their website, like I keep saying. Check it out on their website. Let me know what you think. And I will see you in the next one. Bye! You want to hold on to both sides of these as you're opening it. Otherwise, the weight, I mean, empty, it's only just under 2.5 kilograms. I measured it, but you don't want it to bang down. So just hold on to it as you are laying it out. Ooh. Make sure it's closed. I'm glad no one saw that.